Have you ever sat down to study English, opened your notebook, and then, suddenly, your mind starts to wander? You think about checking your phone, or you remember a video you wanted to watch, or maybe you start thinking about dinner. You want to focus, but somehow your attention keeps slipping away. If this sounds like you, don't worry. You are not alone. Many people around the world, even successful students and professionals, face the same problem. The truth is, focus is not something we are born with. It is a skill. And just like any skill, it can be trained, improved, and even mastered. Today, we are going to explore how you can boost your focus permanently. And while you learn, you will also practice English naturally. So, as you listen, repeat key phrases out loud. Speak with energy. Feel the rhythm of the sentences. Remember, you are training both your mind and your English skills together. Let's begin with a simple idea. Focus is like a muscle. Imagine you are in a gym. When you lift weights, your muscles become stronger over time. The same thing happens with your brain. Every time you concentrate deeply on one task, you are strengthening your focus muscle. But if you keep switching between tasks, like checking messages, browsing social media, or watching random videos, your focus muscle becomes weak. So, if you want strong focus, you need to train it just like you would train your body. Now, I want you to repeat after me. Focus is my mental muscle. Again, focus is my mental muscle. Very good. Feel how powerful that sounds? Because it's true. Once you start treating focus like something you can build, everything changes. Let's look at an example. There was a student named Maria. She loved learning English, but she struggled to stay focused. Every time she started studying, she got distracted. One day, her teacher asked her to study for only 25 minutes, without touching her phone, without opening any other tabs, without moving. Just 25 minutes. She set a timer and tried. The first few minutes were hard. She wanted to check her phone, but she pushed through. When the timer finally beeped, she felt proud. She realized she could control her focus. The next day, she tried 30 minutes. Soon, she was studying for 1 full hour with deep concentration. Her focus had grown stronger, just like a muscle. Here's your first focus-building exercise. Pick one small task and focus on it for 25 minutes. Don't try to multitask. Don't open new apps. Just do one thing. Then, take a short break. After that, try again. This method is simple, but it works. Many successful people use it every day. It's called the Pomodoro technique, and it's one of the best ways to build focus and discipline. Now, let's practice some useful vocabulary. Focus, to give all your attention to one thing. Concentration, the power of focusing your mind on something. Distraction, something that takes your attention away. Mindset, the way you think about things. Discipline, the ability to control your behavior and stay consistent. Repeat with me. I control my focus. I can train my concentration. I let go of distractions. I have a strong mindset. I build my discipline every day. Excellent. Every time you say these sentences, you're not only improving your English, you're also strengthening your belief in yourself. Now, let's talk about one of the biggest enemies of focus, your phone. Our phones are amazing tools, but they can also destroy concentration. Every notification, every message, every beep tells your brain, "Pay attention to me." And before you know it, your attention is divided into 100 little pieces. The key is not to throw your phone away, but to control how and when you use it. Turn off unnecessary notifications. Set specific times to check your messages. When you study or work, put your phone in another room. These small changes make a big difference. Think about it. Imagine you're reading an English article. You're focused. Suddenly, your phone buzzes. You look. It's just a meme from a friend. You smile, you laugh, you reply, and when you return to your reading, your mind feels foggy. You lost your rhythm. That's what distractions do. They break your mental flow. So, protect your attention like it's treasure, because it is. Here's another mini exercise. When you sit down to study, say to yourself, "This is my focus time." Say it out loud. Create a small ritual. Maybe light a candle or play calm background music. Tell your brain, now it's time to focus. Over time, this ritual becomes a signal for your brain to enter deep focus faster. It's like training your mind to switch into concentration mode whenever you start. Do you know what's even more powerful than motivation? Consistency. Many people wait to feel motivated before they focus. But that's backward. Motivation doesn't come first. Action does. When you start doing something, your motivation grows. So, don't wait for the perfect moment. Start now, even if it's small. Do 5 minutes of deep focus today. Tomorrow, do 10. Step by step, you will build unstoppable focus. Let's pause for a moment. Take a deep breath in. Slowly exhale. Now say, "I can control my attention." Good. You are already improving, both in English and in focus. Now, here's a story to inspire you. There was a young man named Amir who wanted to learn English fluently, but he could never stay focused. He always said, "I get bored easily." One day, he changed his approach. Instead of forcing himself to study for hours, he made his study time fun. He watched short English videos about topics he loved: football, travel, technology. He shadowed the speakers' voices, repeated their sentences, and practiced pronunciation. Because he enjoyed the process, his focus naturally increased. Within 6 months, his English and his attention both improved dramatically. What can you learn from Amir's story? When you enjoy what you do, focus becomes easy. So, find ways to make your learning interesting. Choose topics you love. Turn studying into a game. Reward yourself after focused sessions. Remember, your brain loves pleasure. When you connect focus with positive emotions, your mind will crave it more and more. Before we finish this section, let's review some powerful affirmations together. Repeat after me slowly. I am learning to focus deeply. My mind is calm and strong. I choose one thing at a time. I am growing better every day. I am proud of my progress. Very nice. These simple sentences train both your English and your mindset. You're not just learning words. You're building habits that will help you in every area of life. In the next section, we'll explore how to remove hidden distractions, how your environment affects your focus, and how to create a study space that helps you stay sharp, calm, and productive. For now, remember this lesson. Focus is not about working harder. It's about working with intention. The more you train it, the more powerful it becomes. We learned that focus is like a muscle, something you can strengthen with consistent practice. You also discovered how simple habits, such as setting timers, removing distractions, and creating a focus ritual, can help you train your mind to stay in control. In this section, we'll go even deeper. You'll learn how your environment shapes your focus, how to remove hidden distractions, and how to create a mental and physical space that helps you perform at your best every single day. Let's begin with this truth. Your surroundings shape your attention. Have you ever tried to study English in a noisy room or a place full of people talking? It's hard, right? That's because your brain is wired to notice sounds, colors, and movements around you. The more visual and auditory noise there is, the more your focus is pulled away. So, if you want to focus deeply, you must design your environment to support it. Imagine your ideal focus space. What does it look like? Maybe it's a quiet corner in your home. Maybe it's a clean desk with only your notebook, a pen, and your laptop. Or maybe it's a cafe with soft background music that helps you feel calm and creative. Everyone's ideal space is different, but one rule always applies. Keep it simple. A clear space helps create a clear mind. Here's a little activity. Look around your current study area. How many things do you see that are not related to learning? A random paper, an empty cup, your phone, a charger, maybe even some snacks. These things might seem harmless, but they quietly drain your focus. Every object in your visual field competes for your attention. So, take 1 minute right now. Remove one item from your desk that you don't need. That's it. Simple, right? But small actions like this build a focused mindset. When your space is organized, your thoughts become organized too. Now, let's talk about digital distractions, the invisible enemies of focus. Even if your desk is clean, your digital world might be full of noise. Open tabs, constant notifications, endless scrolling. Sound familiar? Most of us live in a world where attention is constantly under attack. Apps and websites are designed to keep you hooked. But you can take your power back. Here's how. First, decide when to go online and when to stay offline. Create focus blocks. Specific times when you do not check messages or social media. During that time, your only task is to study, work, or read. You can even use website blockers that stop you from opening distracting pages. Second, organize your digital tools. Keep only the apps you really need on your home screen. Hide or delete the rest. The fewer choices you have, the easier it is to stay focused. Repeat after me. I control my digital space. Again, I control my digital space. Perfect. Remember, you are the master of your attention, not your phone. Let's look at another story. This time about a student named Leo. Let's do a quick speaking exercise. Repeat these sentences slowly. My environment supports my focus. I remove distractions from my space. I use my time with purpose. I am calm, centered, and ready to learn. Beautiful. Practicing positive language like this trains both your pronunciation and your mindset. Now, let's talk about mental clutter. Sometimes, even if your physical space is clean, your mind feels noisy. Thoughts like, I have so much to do, I'll never finish this, or what if I fail, start to distract you. These thoughts are natural, but they don't help. One simple way to clear mental clutter is through a practice called brain dumping. Here's how it works. Before you start studying, take a piece of paper and write down everything that's on your mind. Things you need to do, things you're worried about, ideas that keep popping up. Write without judgment. Don't organize, don't edit, just release your thoughts. When you're done, take a deep breath and put the paper aside. You'll be surprised how light and focused your mind feels afterward. You've cleared the mental noise and made space for clarity. Let's pause for a quick vocabulary check. Clutter. A collection of things lying around in an untidy way. Association. A mental connection between things. Discipline. Control over your behavior and habits. Ritual. A repeated action that holds meaning. Clarity. The quality of being clear and easy to understand. Now repeat. I create clarity in my mind. My rituals guide my focus. I am in control of my time. Excellent. Let's reflect on another key factor that affects your focus: energy. Your brain is part of your body. When you are tired, hungry, or dehydrated, your focus naturally weakens. Think about the last time you tried to study late at night after a long day. Your eyes felt heavy and your mind drifted. That's not because you lack discipline. It's because your brain was out of fuel. So, to boost focus, you must take care of your body. Sleep well, drink water, and eat foods that feed your brain: fruits, vegetables, nuts, and whole grains. Even a short walk outside can refresh your mind. Many people underestimate the connection between physical health and mental clarity, but they are deeply linked. Here's a simple morning routine you can try. When you wake up, avoid checking your phone for the first 30 minutes. Instead, stretch your body, drink a glass of water, and take a few deep breaths. Say to yourself, "Today, I will focus with energy and peace." This sets the tone for your day. Your words shape your mind, and your morning shapes your focus. Before we close this section, I want you to imagine your new focus environment, both physical and mental. Picture it clearly: a clean desk, a calm mind, a space filled with light and quiet energy. Imagine yourself sitting there studying English with full attention and confidence. Feel that sense of control and peace. That is your new reality. Let's finish with a few affirmations to lock this feeling in. I design my environment for success. My mind is peaceful and powerful. I protect my focus every day. I am becoming the best version of myself. Well done. You've now learned that focus doesn't happen by accident. It grows from intention, design, and discipline. You're not just improving your English. You're building a life skill that will serve you forever. In the next section, we'll explore how to develop mental endurance, the ability to stay focused for longer periods, and how small daily habits can rewire your brain for deep, lasting concentration. So far, you've learned that focus is a trainable skill. You've discovered how your environment and mindset can shape your ability to concentrate. You've learned to remove distractions and create a space where your mind feels calm and ready to work. Now it's time to go one step deeper, to build what we call mental endurance. What is mental endurance? It's your ability to stay focused for long periods without feeling tired or frustrated. Think of it like running a marathon with your mind. At first, you might only be able to focus for a few minutes before your attention starts to fade. But if you train consistently, your brain learns to stay in the zone longer and longer. Just like a runner builds stamina, you can build focus stamina. Let's start with a simple example. Imagine you're studying English vocabulary. After 10 minutes, your brain starts to drift. You want to check your messages or take a break. But instead of giving in immediately, you take one deep breath, sit up straight, and gently bring your mind back to the task. That single moment, the moment when you choose to return to focus, is like lifting a mental weight. Every time you bring your attention back, your focus muscle grows stronger. Here's a useful phrase to remember. Return to focus. Repeat after me. Return to focus. Again. Return to focus. Excellent. You see, even the most focused people in the world get distracted sometimes. The difference is they return to focus quickly. That's what makes them successful. Now, let's practice this idea with a short activity. Close your eyes for a few seconds. Take a deep breath. Imagine your thoughts are like clouds floating in the sky. Some clouds are small, like, I need to check my phone. Others are big, like, I have so much to do tomorrow. Instead of chasing those clouds, just notice them and let them pass. Then, bring your attention back to your breath. Feel the air move in and out. That's what focus feels like. Calm, simple, present. This small exercise teaches your brain how to return to focus when it wanders. Try doing it for just 2 minutes a day. Over time, your concentration will grow naturally. Now, let's talk about another powerful tool for building mental endurance. Micro goals. Big goals like I will study English for 2 hours can feel overwhelming. But micro goals, small, clear steps, make it easier to stay consistent. For example, say to yourself, I will read this paragraph carefully, or I will listen to this English podcast for 5 minutes with full attention. When you complete a small goal, your brain releases dopamine, the chemical of motivation and pleasure. That feeling encourages you to keep going. So, small wins lead to big results. Let's say it together. Small wins lead to big results. Perfect. Here's a real-life story that shows how powerful small steps can be. There was a young woman named Sana. She always dreamed of speaking fluent English, but she found it hard to stay focused for long lessons. She felt tired and distracted after just 10 minutes. Then she decided to use micro goals. She studied for only 15 minutes each morning, but with complete attention. No phone, no noise, just her and her notebook. After each session, she celebrated her progress by writing one sentence in her journal. I showed up today. In just 3 months, Sana's focus and fluency improved dramatically. Her secret wasn't studying for hours. It was staying consistent and focused for short, powerful moments. That's mental endurance. It's not about forcing yourself to concentrate forever. It's about showing up, staying present, and coming back to focus again and again. Now, let's look at another idea. Mental breaks. Many people think that taking breaks is a waste of time. But the truth is, breaks are part of the focus process. Your brain can only maintain deep concentration for a certain amount of time. After that, it needs rest to recharge. So, if you study for 30 minutes, take a 5-minute break. Stretch, drink water, or look at something far away to relax your eyes. Then return refreshed. Think of your brain like a battery. If you use it without recharging, it runs out of power. But if you rest at the right times, your energy stays strong. The key is to take intentional breaks, not distracted ones. Don't spend your break scrolling through social media. That drains your focus even more. Instead, choose a relaxing activity that clears your mind, like walking, listening to soft music, or doing deep breathing. Repeat after me. Rest is part of focus. Again, rest is part of focus. Beautiful. Let's talk about another important element. Mindfulness. This word means being aware of the present moment. When you are mindful, you notice your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions, without judgment. For example, if you are studying and suddenly get distracted, instead of feeling guilty or angry at yourself, simply say, I got distracted. Now I return to focus. That gentle awareness makes a huge difference. Try this. As you listen to this sentence, focus only on my words. Notice their rhythm, their sound. Notice how your breath feels. That's mindfulness, being fully here now. Practicing this daily, even for 5 minutes, can change how your brain processes attention. Scientific. Research has shown that mindfulness meditation can actually increase the thickness of the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for focus, planning, and decision-making. Isn't that amazing? By simply being more aware, you can literally strengthen your brain. Now, let's review some key vocabulary from this section. Endurance. The ability to continue doing something difficult for a long time. Stamina. physical or mental strength that allows you to keep going. Mindfulness, being fully aware of the present moment. Recharge, to regain energy after resting. Awareness, knowing and understanding what is happening around you. Repeat with me. I am building my mental endurance. I recharge my mind with rest. I practice mindfulness every day. My focus grows stronger each time I return to it. Excellent work. Now I want to share one more story with you. A story about focus and patience. There was a famous writer named Haruki Murakami. Every morning he woke up at 4 a.m. to write. He worked for 5 hours straight and then went for a run. He did this every day for years. You've learned that focus grows through practice, patience, and mindful repetition. You now understand how to build mental endurance and return to focus whenever your mind wanders. But there's another piece of the puzzle: emotions. The way you feel has a powerful effect on how well you can concentrate. When you're stressed, anxious, or upset, your mind becomes noisy and scattered. When you're calm and positive, your thoughts become clear and sharp. In this section, we'll explore how emotions and stress influence your focus and how to use emotional balance to stay centered, no matter what's happening around you. Let's begin with the simple truth. You can't focus when your heart is in chaos. Imagine trying to study English after an argument with a friend or when you're worried about something important. Even if you sit down with your book, your mind keeps replaying the situation. You read the same sentence again and again but understand nothing. That's because your emotional brain, the part responsible for feelings, is louder than your logical brain, the part responsible for concentration. When emotions rise, focus falls. But don't worry. There's a way to bring your mind and emotions into harmony. The secret is emotional awareness. When you notice what you're feeling and give it space, the emotion begins to calm down. Most people try to fight their feelings. I shouldn't feel anxious. I shouldn't feel sad. But fighting emotions makes them stronger. Accepting them makes them weaker. Here's a simple exercise. The next time you feel distracted because of emotion, pause for a moment. Take a deep breath. Name what you feel. I feel nervous. I feel tired. I feel excited. Just naming the emotion gives your brain a sense of control. Then ask yourself, what can I do right now to feel a little better? Maybe you need a short walk, a glass of water, or just a few slow breaths. Small actions help big emotions settle down. Now repeat this with me. I recognize my emotions, but I don't let them control me. Again. I recognize my emotions, but I don't let them control me. Excellent. You're learning to manage your inner world, and that's one of the strongest forms of focus. Let's look at a real example. There was a university student named Rena who loved studying English literature. But whenever exams approached, she felt so anxious that she couldn't focus. She tried to force herself to study, but her mind wouldn't cooperate. Then one of her professors gave her simple advice. Study when you're calm, not when you're panicking. First, calm your body. Then, use your mind. Rena started using breathing exercises before studying. She sat quietly, closed her eyes, and took 5 deep breaths. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Within a week, she noticed a big change. Her focus improved, her anxiety dropped, and she began enjoying her study sessions again. That's the power of calming your body before you ask your brain to perform. Let's practice that breathing technique together. Ready? Sit comfortably. Inhale deeply for 4 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold your breath for a moment. Now exhale slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4. Feel the tension leaving your body. Good. That's how you reset your focus anytime, anywhere. Let's take a moment to practice a few new words from this section. Emotion. A strong feeling like joy, anger, or sadness. Anxiety. Worry or nervousness about something that may happen. Awareness. The state of noticing or understanding something clearly. Calm. Peaceful and relaxed. Harmony. A feeling of balance or peace. Now repeat with me. My emotions are signals, not obstacles. I create calm within myself. My mind and heart work in harmony. Beautiful. These are not just words. They are habits for your mind. Let's talk about another big challenge to focus. Stress. In today's world, many people live under constant pressure. Work deadlines, family responsibilities, endless messages and notifications. All of these create a background noise of stress that makes deep concentration difficult. Stress triggers a hormone called cortisol, which prepares your body for fight or flight. It's useful in emergencies, but harmful when it never goes away. High cortisol makes your thoughts race and your attention jump from one thing to another. To manage stress, you need recovery. Think of it like this. Focus is the gas pedal. Rest is the brake. If you only push the gas, your system burns out. But if you use both, effort and relaxation, you move smoothly. Here are 3 ways to balance stress and focus. First, practice gratitude. When your mind focuses on what's going wrong, stress grows. When it focuses on what's good, peace returns. Try writing down 3 things you're grateful for each day. Even small things like a warm meal, a kind message, or a beautiful sunset. Gratitude trains your brain to see calmness instead of chaos. Second, move your body. Exercise doesn't just help your muscles, it clears your mind. Even a 10-minute walk outside can refresh your concentration and lift your mood. Third, slow down. When you rush, your brain jumps from thought to thought like a monkey. When you move slowly and breathe deeply, your brain finds its rhythm again. Now, let's add a short story. There was a young engineer named Omar who worked long hours. He often tried to study English after work but found it impossible to focus. He felt stressed and tired, and every time he opened his textbook, he gave up after a few pages. One day, he decided to change one small thing. He took a 5-minute breathing break before studying. He dimmed the lights, played soft music, and simply breathed. Within days, his mind began to relax. He found himself reading longer, understanding better, and even enjoying the process. Over time, his evening English sessions became his favorite part of the day. This story shows something powerful. When you calm your emotions, you unlock your focus. Peace is not the absence of noise. It's the strength to stay centered inside the noise. Now, repeat this short affirmation. My peace is my power. Again, my peace is my power. That's right. Calmness is not weakness. It's a superpower. Here's another technique you can try. Journaling. Writing your thoughts helps you release emotional tension and organize your mind. Before or after studying, spend 5 minutes writing how you feel. You can write in English to practice your skills. For example, today I felt distracted, but I came back to focus. Or, I'm proud that I studied even when I didn't feel like it. Writing like this helps you process emotions and strengthen your focus habit. At the same time, another emotional skill that supports focus is self-compassion, being kind to yourself. Many learners feel guilty when they lose concentration. They say things like, I'm lazy, or I can't focus, but harsh self-talk only makes things worse. Instead, treat yourself like you would treat a friend. When your friend loses focus, you wouldn't shout at them. You'd encourage them. So do the same for yourself. Say, "It's okay. I got distracted, but I can start again." Repeat after me. I am patient with myself. I learn from every mistake. I return to focus with kindness. Perfect. This mindset will help you stay calm and confident through challenges. Let's take a quick reflection break. Close your eyes and think about one moment today when you lost focus. Maybe you checked your phone or your thoughts drifted. Now imagine that same moment again. But this time, instead of feeling guilty, you smile gently, take a breath, and return to your task with peace. How different does that feel? That's emotional focus. Learning to guide your energy, not fight it. Let's review the big lesson of this section. Your focus is not just mental, it's emotional. When you calm your emotions, your concentration grows naturally. When you accept what you feel, your mind becomes your ally, not your enemy. Before we finish, repeat these affirmations with me. I am calm and confident. My emotions support my focus. I choose peace in every situation. I can focus deeply because I am centered inside. I am becoming more focused, calm and powerful every day. Wonderful work. You've just mastered one of the most important lessons in lifelong focus: emotional balance. In the next section, we'll explore how to build habits that make focus automatic, how to program your brain to stay attentive without forcing it. You'll learn the science of habit loops and how to use them to stay consistent with your English learning and personal growth. You've come so far already. You've learned how to train your focus like a muscle, how to design your environment for success, how to build mental endurance, and how to keep your emotions balanced. Now it's time to learn one of the most powerful lessons of all: how to turn focus into a habit. Because real transformation doesn't happen from one strong moment of concentration. It happens when focus becomes your natural way of living. Let's start with this idea. Habits are the invisible architecture of your life. Most of what you do each day, brushing your teeth, checking your phone, making coffee, happens automatically. You don't think about it. Your brain just does it. That's because habits save energy. Your brain loves efficiency. So if you can make focus a habit, it will eventually become effortless. But how do you do that? Let's break it down into 3 steps. Cue, routine, reward. This is the habit loop, a concept made popular by author Charles Duhigg. The cue is the signal that starts the habit. The routine is the action you perform. The reward is the feeling or result you get after completing it. For example, let's say you want to build the habit of studying English every morning. Your cue could be something simple, like making a cup of tea or playing a specific song. That signal tells your brain, it's focus time. The routine is your study session. Maybe you read, listen, or write for 20 minutes. The reward comes afterward. Perhaps you feel proud or you allow yourself to watch a short video in English that you enjoy. Over time, your brain connects the cue, routine, and reward into one automatic loop. Let's try it together. Say out loud, cue, routine, reward. Again, cue, routine, reward. Great. This small formula can change your entire life. Now, let's look at a real story. There was a teacher named Ayako who wanted to write an English blog every day but struggled to stay consistent. So she created a focus ritual. Every morning, she lit a small candle, opened her laptop, and started writing for 15 minutes. When she finished, she blew out the candle and drank a cup of green tea. That tiny sequence, candle, writing, tea, became her focus habit. Within a few months, she had written over 50 posts, all because she turned focus into a ritual. What can you learn from Ayako's story? That discipline doesn't have to be hard or boring. When you design your habits with care, they become natural, even enjoyable. Now, let's think about your own focus habits. What is one small cue you could use every day? Maybe it's sitting in a specific chair, playing a calm study playlist, or opening your notebook to the same first page. Choose something simple and repeat it daily. Your brain will soon learn. When I see this cue, it's time to focus. Let's practice some useful vocabulary. Habit. A behavior you repeat regularly, often without thinking. Routine. A sequence of actions you do often. Cue. A signal that starts a behavior. Reward. The positive result you get after doing something. Consistency. Doing something regularly over time. Repeat after me. I build habits that help me focus. My routine strengthens my discipline. I am consistent and confident. I train my mind through repetition. Excellent. Here's a secret most people don't know. Willpower is not enough. Motivation comes and goes, but habits stay. If you rely only on motivation, you'll work hard some days and give up on others. But when focus becomes automatic, you don't have to think. You just do it. That's why successful people don't waste energy deciding whether to start. They simply follow their habits. Let's do a little mental exercise. Close your eyes and imagine your focused self. Picture this version of you waking up with purpose, feeling calm and ready. See yourself opening your English book, concentrating easily, understanding every sentence. Feel how natural it is. Not forced, not stressful, just part of who you are. That version of you already exists inside your habits. You just have to grow into it. To build lasting focus habits, use the 3-minute rule. It's simple. Whenever you don't feel like starting, promise yourself to focus for just 3 minutes. Tell yourself, I'll study for 3 minutes and then I can stop if I want. Most of the time, once you begin, you keep going. Getting started is the hardest part. Once you begin, momentum carries you forward. Repeat after me. Starting small leads to big success. Again, starting small leads to big success. Perfect. Here's another real-life story. There was a young man named Diego who always wanted to improve his English speaking skills, but every time he planned to practice, he felt nervous and avoided it. One day, he made a new rule. He would speak English to himself for just 2 minutes each morning. He described what he was doing. I'm brushing my teeth. I'm making breakfast. Over time, 2 minutes became 5, then 10, then 30. After a few months, Diego's fluency improved dramatically. The secret? He started small, stayed consistent, and built focus through habit. Now let's explore habit stacking, a powerful way to build new routines. The idea is to attach a new habit to an existing one. For example, you already brush your teeth every morning. You can stack a short focus habit right after. After I brush my teeth, I will study one new English word. Or, after I drink my morning coffee, I will read an English article. Because your brain already remembers the first habit, it's easier to add a second one. Over time, you can stack more, one layer at a time. Let's practice speaking. I attach new habits to old ones. My routines support my success. I make focus part of my daily life. Excellent. Now, let's talk about environmental triggers, the hidden cues that shape your focus habits. For example, if your phone is on your desk, that's a cue to check it. If your English notebook is open on your desk, that's a cue to study. So, design your space wisely. Place reminders of focus in your environment. You can even write small notes with affirmations like, stay present, or focus first, reward later, and put them where you can see them. These small reminders reprogram your brain to stay consistent. Remember, habits are not built by big effort once. They are built by small effort often. Every time you repeat a behavior, you make it easier to do next time. Think of your brain like a forest. Each time you walk a path, that is, repeat a habit, the path becomes clearer. Eventually, it becomes a road. That's what happens when you repeat focused behavior. Your brain creates a mental highway for concentration. Let's practice a few affirmations to lock this idea in. I am designing my habits with purpose. I make focus easy through repetition. My brain learns to concentrate naturally. I am consistent and unstoppable. You're doing great. Now let's talk about tracking progress. Another habit that strengthens focus. What gets measured gets improved. When you record your focus sessions, even in a simple notebook, you send your brain a signal. This matters. Try keeping a small, focus journal. Write down the time you started studying, how long you stayed focused, and how you felt afterward. Over time, you'll see your progress, and that will motivate you to continue. For example, you could write, Monday, focused for 25 minutes, felt calm and clear. Tuesday, 30 minutes, had a few distractions but came back quickly. Wednesday, 40 minutes, best session yet. Small reflections like this build awareness and pride. They show you that improvement is happening, even when it feels slow. Finally, let's talk about identity. Habits are not just what you do. They are who you become. Instead of saying, I want to be more focused, say, I am a focused person. Instead of saying, I'm trying to learn English, say, I am an English learner. When you change your words, you change your identity, and your identity drives your actions. So, say it with me. I am a focused person. I am an English learner. I am consistent, calm, and growing stronger every day. Beautiful. Feel the confidence in those words. That's who you are becoming. Before we end this section, remember, success doesn't come from doing everything perfectly. It comes from showing up day after day, even when you don't feel like it. When focus becomes part of your identity, it becomes permanent. In the next section, we'll bring everything together: the mindset, the emotions, the habits, and discover how to maintain deep focus for life, how to keep your English learning journey joyful, and how to live with clarity, purpose, and peace. You've done something truly special by reaching this point. You've learned how to build focus, strengthen habits, balance emotions, and train your mind. Now it's time to connect everything and discover how to make your focus permanent. How to turn this skill into a lifelong companion that supports your goals, your English learning, and your happiness. Let's begin with a truth that many people overlook. Focus isn't just about doing more. It's about doing what matters. Some people think productivity means filling every minute of their day with tasks. But real focus is about clarity, knowing which tasks actually move you closer to your dreams. You can be busy but not productive, active but not effective. So the first step to lifelong focus is clarity of purpose. Ask yourself, why do I want to focus? Is it to improve your English so you can study abroad, work internationally, or simply feel confident speaking with others? When your purpose is clear, focus becomes easier because you're not forcing yourself. You're being pulled forward by something meaningful. Let's try a short reflection. Close your eyes and say softly, "I know why I want to focus. My purpose guides my attention. I use my energy wisely." Good. Now take a deep breath. Feel that clarity inside you. When you know your why, your how becomes simple. Now, let's talk about energy management, because you can't focus if you're constantly drained. Think of your energy as a battery. Every morning, you wake up with a certain charge. How you spend it determines how much focus you have left by the end of the day. If you use your energy on negative thoughts, multitasking, or unnecessary distractions, your battery empties fast. But if you use it on what matters, you stay strong throughout the day. So, how do you manage your energy? First, respect your body. Sleep well, eat foods that give you steady energy, and take short breaks to rest your mind. Second, respect your emotions. Don't carry stress from one task into another. When something upsets you, pause, breathe, and release it. And third, respect your attention. Don't give it away freely to every notification or message. Protect it like gold, because that's what it is. Your focus is your most valuable resource. Repeat after me. I protect my energy. I focus on what matters. I rest when I need to, and I return stronger. Now, let's explore how focus and learning are connected. Every time you study English with full attention, your brain creates new neural connections. But when you're distracted, those connections weaken. So, when you practice English mindfully, listening carefully, speaking slowly, thinking deeply, you're not only improving your language skills, you're training your focus muscle at the same time. That's why English learning is such a powerful tool for personal growth. It's not just about vocabulary or grammar, it's about training your brain to stay present, curious, and patient. Every English lesson you take is also a focus lesson. Let's take a short example. Imagine you're reading an article in English. You come across a new word, resilience. Instead of rushing, you stop and think. You say it out loud. You look at the sentence and guess its meaning. You check a dictionary. You write it in your notebook. You repeat it in a sentence. Resilience means being strong even when things are difficult. At that moment, you are practicing focus, deep focus. You're not just learning a word, you're learning how to learn. Now, say it with me. When I learn English, I strengthen my focus. My mind grows sharper every day. I learn with patience and pride. Beautiful. Let's talk about digital balance because in our modern world, this is where most people lose their focus. Have you ever noticed how easily your phone steals your attention? You check one message, and suddenly 30 minutes are gone. It's not your fault. Apps are designed to keep you hooked, but you can take back control. Here's how. Turn off unnecessary notifications. You don't need to know about every post or message instantly. Create no phone zones. For example, when studying English, leave your phone in another room. Set focus timers. Use the Pomodoro method. 25 minutes of deep work, 5 minutes of rest. Replace scrolling with intention. If you're online, do it purposefully, like watching English videos, reading articles, or listening to podcasts. Technology is not your enemy. It's your tool. Use it wisely, and it will serve you well. Now, let's talk about something deeper. The power of mindfulness. Mindfulness simply means paying attention to the present moment without judgment. When you're mindful, you're not lost in the past or worried about the future. You're here, focused, calm, aware. Try this simple exercise. Sit quietly. breathe in slowly through your nose and breathe out through your mouth. As you breathe, say silently, I am here. Feel your body relax. Feel your thoughts slow down. That is mindfulness. You can do this anytime you feel distracted or stressed. Just breathe and return to now. Repeat after me. I am here. I am calm. I am focused. You can even practice mindfulness while studying English. When you listen to a new word, focus on its sound. When you speak, feel how your tongue moves. When you write, notice the rhythm of your sentences. Learning becomes more enjoyable and natural when you bring your full awareness to it. Now, let's explore the idea of long-term focus. Not just for minutes or hours, but for years. Focus is not only about concentration, it's about staying committed to your vision. Think about people who master a skill. Musicians, athletes, language learners. They didn't become great overnight. They practiced for years, one small step at a time. There's a beautiful Japanese concept called kaizen, which means continuous improvement. It teaches us that progress comes from tiny, steady steps every day. Even a 1% improvement daily leads to massive results over time. So don't worry if your progress feels slow. Focus is a journey, not a race. Repeat after me. I improve a little every day. Ihaon, I am patient with my growth. I stay focused for the long run. Now, let's bring everything together. You've learned that focus is built from mindset, believing that you can train your attention, emotional balance, managing stress, and staying calm, habits, repeating actions that support concentration, clarity, knowing your purpose and direction, consistency, showing up every day no matter what. When all these elements work together, focus becomes a lifestyle, your default mode. You no longer have to fight distractions. They lose their power over you. You walk through life with calm energy, clear goals, and strong attention. Now imagine your future self, 1 year from today. You're sitting at your desk, reading a book in English easily, understanding every word. You feel confident and peaceful. You've built habits that make focus effortless. You enjoy learning. You enjoy quiet. You enjoy progress. That future version of you is not far away. It's already growing inside you right now. Every focused minute you practice brings you closer. Let's finish with some affirmations. Powerful sentences to help you remember this lesson. My focus is strong and permanent. I use my time and energy wisely. I learn English with purpose and passion. I stay calm, confident, and consistent. I am becoming the best version of myself. Take a deep breath. Say it again, slowly, proudly. Feel those words sink in, because they are true. Before we close, remember this final message. You don't need to be perfect to stay focused. You just need to keep returning to what matters. Every time your mind wanders, gently bring it back. Every time you lose motivation, remind yourself why you started. Progress is not about never falling. It's about always standing up again. So, keep your heart open, your mind steady, and your eyes on your goals. Keep learning, keep improving, and keep believing in yourself. Focus is not something you chase, it's something you become, and from this day forward, you are that person. Calm, clear, and focused for life.